What is going on, world? Welcome back once again. My name is ZacNovak and this is ZacNovak Plays Games, or Baked ZacNovak. In today's video, a little bit late, but we got XUR'S location and inventory still on the same day, only a few hours, maybe 12, a little bit late. Anyway, roll the intros, let's get right into it, and I do hope you certainly enjoy. Alrighty, so getting straight into the video, XUR'S is at the EDC, on the EDC at Winding Cove, chilling up in the spaceship area. So, yeah, let's see, has a tentacle bastard actually got anything decent this week? Fingers crossed, let us see. XUR, help me, please, you have enemies around you. No, never mind, I got him. Let's see. Alrighty, XUR, so this week, you aren't horribly, but you are pretty bad. Let's start things off with the Warlocks Skull of Ahamkara. 23 legendary shards for this D1 exotic bought to D2. Pretty undervalued perk, I will say. It's called Actual Grandeur. Provides additional damage resistance during Nova Bomb, and Nova Bomb kills grant super energy. This thing in itself, it's in a good place, but also a bad place. The first part of it, not so great. Second part of it, mwah, I actually really freaking enjoy. I will state this thing actually is fairly advantageous if you're actually using it in PvE, simply for the actual fact of if you love using Nova Bombs, this thing in itself actually works fairly well. Just run into a bunch of ads and just use your freaking Slover Bomb, or regular Slover Bomb. I like Slover Bomb just because like it actually has more balls to go everywhere else, and you can deal a lot of damage to people. That thing in itself, pretty nice. Secondary perks on it, we've got fusion rifle targeting, hand cannon targeting, and hands on, as well as but not limited to. We've also got ourselves sniper rifle reserves and machine gun reserves. Not too bad, not the worst, not the best, but still surprisingly decent. Pick it up if you have not got it. 23 legendary shards. Moving on, next up we've got the Actium War rig for the Titan. 23 legendary shards. I don't think I've seen anyone actually use this. I've used it maybe twice. This thing is really undervalued, however it does actually have some pretty good perks. Its main perk actually being auto-loading link. Steadily reloads a portion of your equipped auto rifle's magazine from reserves. If you are the person that likes to use, I don't know, 2 different auto rifles, this thing in itself is definitely actually helpful. Other than that, it's not really that helpful. I mean, yes, you can kind of reload your magazines and stuff from reserves without actually having to reload, but it's not as amazing as you would think. Secondary perks on it are as followed. We got unflinching bow aim, unflinching fusion rifle aim, and unflinching kinetic aim, as well as but limited to, we've also got ourselves scout rifle reserves and special ammo finder, which isn't too bad, but most auto rifles are either, special or primary, because it's what they all kind of are. This thing in itself, it's not too bad. 23 legendary shards, pick it up if you have not got it to add to your collection, because who doesn't like filling up their collection? Next up, we've got ourselves the Lucky Raspberry. 23 legendary shards for this Hunter or Huntress exotic. Now we'll say this was a D1 exotic bought to D2, main perk being Probability Matrix. Increases the chaining capabilities of arc bolt grenade and has a chance to recharge each time it deals damage. A full chain always recharges. So this in itself, yeah, I will say this thing actually is in a really nice place. I mean, having the ability to completely actually get your actual grenade charge back from simply throwing a grenade is seriously freaking cool. I will actually state this thing is in probably a better place than what I would actually, give it credit for, considering I don't use it that often, but this thing in itself definitely is useful, especially in Ark's Nightfall, so I will just say that. Secondary perks are, we've got unflinching bow aim, unflinching fusion rifle aim, and unflinching kinetic aim, as well as but not limited to, we've also got ourselves scout rifle reserves and special ammo finder. Not too bad, not the worst, but definitely actually fairly decent. decent. 23 legendary shards, pick it up. If you have not got it, try it out. Let me know what you actually think of it in the comment section if you've already got it. If you are just picking up, let me know what you actually think about it. It could potentially be one of those things that you really do freaking like. Next up and finally though, we've got ourselves the exotic gear, the SunShot, the exotic weapon for the week. 29 legendary shards for this. Let's say OP is an undervalued word for what this weapon is. Main perk on it is Sunburn. This weapon fires explosive rounds and highlight targets that take damage from Sunshot. In combination with its secondary perk being Sunblast, targets killed with Sunshot explode in solar energy. This thing in itself is seriously nice. It's like literally having a hand cannon that has the ability to have explosive rounds and Firefly. Yes, I said Firefly because it's more actual explosive than even Dragonfly. But yeah, this thing in itself, it's actually really freaking decent, and I honestly state that I've pretty much always got one on each character no matter what I'm actually running. This thing in itself is definitely viable and definitely beastly. 29 legendary shards, pick it up if you have not got it. But moving on, next up we've got the consumables. One consumable for now. ZOR'S changing in the very near future. We got the 5 of Swords though. What does the 5 of Swords do? Well, it allows you to add modifiers to your challenging nightfalls to make those challenging nightfall modifiers even more challenging by adding challenging modifiers on top of those challenges that already exist in the challenging nightfall. In other words, it makes your challenging nightfall more challenging by adding challenging challenges that make it more, I guess, better because you get, you know, more points. I mean, who doesn't like having a big score at the end of a nightfall? I certainly like it. Anyway, next up we've also finally got ourselves the Isochronal Engram, also known as the Fated Engram. 97 legendary shards for an exotic that'll decrypt into an exotic that you don't actually own unless you have all the exotics from the actual loot pool that is available from before Warmind. This in itself definitely can actually come in handy for some situations, especially for armor, considering armor has, you know, random perks and random rolls and stuff on them. Well, not random perks, but random rolls on some of the perks, but yeah, let us see what we actually get from this Fated Engram. Is it going to be waste? Well, I don't really see that as being useful, but I mean, I don't actually have a Borealis on any of my accounts or even in the actual, you know, vault, considering that I went through and got rid of this when I had it one at, I think it was 650. It was one of my earliest 650s that I was able to infuse onto something. This thing in itself, if it will actually load, is actually a fairly decent sniper. I mean, I actually kind of like this thing. It does look, I mean, a little bit different, but having the whole ability to change out your freaking flavors for your damage is honestly really freaking nice. So I'm not too unhappy about that. Most likely we'll actually use it considering snipers are in not too bad of a place at the moment. So we'll see how things go with that. But this has been ZOR'S location and inventory for the weekend. This has been ZacNovak. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, click that like button down below. Leave a comment. Did you guys get anything cool from ZOR? Was it something you got from the Fated Engram that turned out to be something amazing, or was it just something that wasn't as amazing? Or did you actually even just get something that ZOR actually had just sitting in his inventory? Let me know in the comment section down below. Leave a like, leave a comment, do all that good stuff, and I'll be cheering like Karen ever he was at cheering. But until next time, this is ZacNovak signing off. Peace out.